When Frankie-Rae Tuppenney-Hockney was just 3 months old, she was diagnosed with an exceptionally rare disorder. One of just 21 people with microdeletion syndrome caused by the absence of part of a chromosome, Frankie-Rae's family were told she may never walk. However, little Frankie-Rae, she's a fighter. She hails from Kidlington in Oxfordshire. She is beating the odds. Her story and her walking challenge for charity was featured on this channel in June and has since inspired others to join in and raise funds. Now, Frankie-Rae's mum, Mary Ella, and dad, Ben, join me now, along with fundraiser Vincent McCluskey, who this weekend is climbing Ben Nevis, Snowdonia and the Three Peaks for the course. Here in the studio, let's talk to Frankie-Rae's mum and dad. Ben, what a lovely little girl. Thank you so much for coming in today.
Thank you, it's a pleasure.
Really good to see you.
Hi, baby.
Just tell us how much mobility Frankie-Rae actually has, despite that warning from doctors that she may never walk.
She has hypermobility, so that puts quite a lot of pressure on her joints. So from quite a young age, we never thought she'd even crawl, but she's defeated the odds and she's managed to do that. And with constant physio, she's managed to take a few steps as well. She's had a walking frame, and she's just inspired us all and actually done what we never thought would be possible. She's taken quite a few steps, haven't you, darling?
You must be so proud of her, Mariella.
I'm extremely proud. We've put in a lot of hard work with her as a family. All the teams that are involved with her, physios, OTs, they've all been amazing, and it just shows in how much she's come on. I didn't expect her to be walking. This time last year, I thought that was it, you know.
We can see some wonderful pictures there of Frankie-Rae with her walker there. God, with a little tutu on as well. That's you, look. That's you.
She was off to baby ballet at that point. She loves music, and she loves to just stand there and sway from side to side.
Oh, this is a very rare condition.
Yeah.
And yet she's battling through and confounding the odds.
She definitely is. She's very determined. Very determined in everything that she tries to do. She'll always try to open something before she'll give it to one of us to do. She always wants to do something for herself, which I think has helped her in the long run in being able to actually take those steps. They're very wobbly. These were the most, on the video there, they're the most steps that she's kind of taken. But
wow, steps there with no walker at all, though. For people listening on radio, Frankie-Rae has some braces. They're around her shins rather than her knees, but they don't look restrictive. They don't look too uncomfortable.
No.
They're to stop the ankle from rolling to support her.
Indeed.
Yeah, they're wonderful creations, aren't they?
Yeah, they're amazing.
And many people watching and listening on GBNews Radio will be thinking, how has this impacted you as a family? There's clearly a huge amount of love in this room from among your family. But it is challenging, isn't it?
Very challenging.
Dealing with a child with a rare condition, albeit, you know, even a child who's showing as much resilience and fight as Frankie-Rae.
I think with social media as well, it's so easy to portray Frankie-Rae as being such a happy little girl, and she is sort of 70% of the time, but that other 30% every day is a struggle, and she can have huge meltdowns because of the syndrome, because she can't talk, so she's unable to communicate properly with us, and she will have huge meltdowns, headbutt, pull her hair, pull my hair. But on the whole, she's a lovely little girl, and she's just such
and a beautiful smile,
sunshine.
And Frankie-Rae's elder sister's with us. You must be very proud of your sister. What's your name?
Georgie Ellen.
Oh, Georgie Ellen.
Yeah, she's.
Isn't it fantastic? Your sister's learning to walk. Do you help her?
Yeah.
Sometimes.
Yeah. She also likes to dance with her as well.
Yeah, she walks on her own sometimes, and you like to dance, don't you? Hold her hands.
So what's the prognosis here? Obviously, she's making huge progress. Those pictures are hugely inspiring that we've seen. Can we expect Frankie-Rae to go further? Do you think she'll always need to have help with her mobility?
Yeah, I think going forward at the moment, they're not expecting her to come out of the splints anytime soon.
Right.
She will still need to use the walking frame if we're going on longer walk journeys. It's not like we can just sort of take her to the shop and walk around the shop at the moment. But hopefully, in time...
we just never know.
You know, and also with her her speech as well, she can make some sounds, but she is doing 15 single signs now. So, and she's able to tell us what she wants just by signing.
Fabulous.
And that's taken quite a lot of hard work.
But what a joy to unlock what she's thinking.
Yeah, definitely. She can understand everything that we say to her. She's just not able.
She's clearly very alert.
Backwards.
And you've been raising money for charity. Lots of people have been helping you raising money for charity. How does it feel that people are, you know, walking the tallest 3 peaks in the UK?
We are.
In succession in order to raise money.
So incredibly grateful to them. We honestly can't thank them enough. What they've raised so far is going to enable us to be able to get a car seat for Frankie-Rae. That has to be made for her. So, yeah, we're hoping that going forward, that car seat's going to make a massive difference to us. And we'd like to be able to maybe get some cognitive brain therapy for Frankie-Rae. So, and that may induce some of the global development delay to sort of widen the gap with that, which would be amazing.
So these charitable donations and indeed sponsorship money raised by people making an effort for you, that money really does make a difference to your lives. It makes a difference to Frankie-Rae's life.
Yeah,
absolutely.
A huge difference.
It could potentially be life-changing for us.
I mean, like with the cognitive brain therapy, we don't know until we try it, but it is quite expensive to do. And if it does work, then that's just amazing for us.
Well, let's bring in now fundraiser Vince McCluskey, who this weekend is climbing Ben Nevis, Snowdon and the 3 Peaks for this cause, helping kids like Frankie-Rae. Vincent, what a fantastic thing to do. You're there with some of your colleagues. I think you're in Warrington, aren't you, down on your way to Snowdon?
Yes, we've just called in for a little bite to eat, a quick break.
And how's the weather? It's getting a bit colder, isn't it? Are you going to make it? Are you going to be able to do all those summits?
We'll just keep pushing on. When you see how Frankie-Rae pushes on, the cold weather's not going to stop us. We're determined to complete it for Frankie-Rae.
Oh, bless him. And
Carol Ann, why have you decided to choose this particular charity to help?
I think when you hear Frankie-Rae's story and see what she's overcome so far, it's just really important. It's really important to raise awareness of a condition, and it's really important just to raise money to make her life better.
And Michael, you're putting in a huge shift here. It's a pretty tough gig that you've given yourself to climb Ben Nevis up in Scotland, the 3 Peaks, and then the highest peak in Wales as well.
Yeah. It's worth it though. As Carol Ann's just said, you know, to raise awareness, but to raise the funds as well. And we're having a laugh on the way as well. You know, we've been through snow, sleet, rain, sunshine. We've had every season so far. So bring on Snowdon. Let's see what happens there.
You have got a GoFundMe page, haven't you, supporting your efforts? Do you want to tell us what it is?
Hiking for Success.
Yeah, Hiking for Success.
For
Frankie-Rae, yes.
And do you know how many miles in total you're doing on this odyssey, this epic voyage? I mean, Britain isn't a particularly mountainous part of the world, but I've hiked those peaks that you're scaling this weekend, and it puts a taste in your mouth.
I think it's approximately 50 miles, yeah. The long one is the Yorkshire 3 Peaks, which is more of a walk than a climb from what we've experienced so far.
Mariella, back in the studio, how do you feel when you see ordinary people there putting their shoulder to the mill, using their time and money and energy to do something amazing for your kid?
Yeah, so honoured for them to be doing it, and just watching them, just then Ben and I both had a tear in our eye because we weren't expecting that.
It's absolutely inspiring what our friends and people are willing to do.
And their friends
for our
doing.
girl.
You know, we've never actually met Michael or Carol Ann ourselves, and yet they're joining Vincent on that journey and doing that for Frankie-Rae. So
We're ever so grateful.
yeah, it's amazing.
There's a lot of doom and gloom around at the moment, isn't there? But there are good people out there.
Yeah.
I mean, in some ways, obviously, Frankie-Rae, you wouldn't have it any other way. She's beautiful and she's your child and you'll do everything for her.
Absolutely.
But it is a challenge, and yet challenges like this can be life-affirming, right? Particularly when
Definitely.
complete strangers come out of the woodwork and say, we're going to put our arms around you, you're not going to meet us, but we're going to do something that helps you just because we want to help you.
Honestly, if my arms could grow, I'd give them all a hug.
Yeah. Like we've said, we're just so grateful for it.
Yeah.
And we're so grateful to all of you for coming in. Mariella, Ben, Georgia.
Georgie Ellen.
Georgie Ellen, look after your little sister. I'm sure you will. And indeed, Frankie-Rae Tuppenney-Hockney. And the incredible mountaineering team scaling the heights of the UK, Vincent McCluskey and Michael and Caroline. Thank you so much for joining us. What a wonderful story that tells us so much about human nature and about the UK.